The Hamman Time Catch-Up.
All right, this is big. This is very, very cool. So, the Cure are currently in South Africa for the first time ever. They're headlining 19 festivals this year. Glastonbury for the fourth time among that. They're playing Rock at the Lawns. Thursday, the show is happening in Cape Town at Kenilworth Race Course. Tickets are at Can't Be Ticket. I went to go and see the show on Saturday. It was remarkable. Hands down, one of the best live acts that I've ever seen in my life. And Robert Smith of The Cure, to anyone who's a fan, will know that the amount of bands, musicians, and dare I say genres that would not exist were it not for his influence. I mean, this is a guy who's able to take post-punk into new wave, into what we now consider to be the broader term of alternative music, and do such beautiful things with it, from musicality to poetry. He's incredible. Vince Noir even taught me as well that the most powerful hairspray in the world is made from the tears of Robert Smith. And he joins us now on Hamman Time. Hi, Robert.
Hello.
Thank you for making some time. I genuinely really appreciate it, Robert.
Thanks.
How's your impression of this country been so far? What's been going on for you?
Yeah, it's great. It's been a bit frantic, but yeah, I'm enjoying myself. I've actually got a day off today, so this is getting in the way slightly, but I don't mind.
What are you doing on a day off? You're down in Cape Town, right?
Yeah. Well, the others have all gone up the mountain. So I'll meet up with them when they get back, and I'm not sure what's on the agenda, actually. I think it's a choice of dangerous things. I don't know.
Well, I wanted to know, Robert, because there's been so much going on with your life in The Cure that's been milestone-y of late, with the 30-year anniversary and the Hall of Fame nod that's coming up. And does that create a sense of permanent reflection in you? Do you find yourself reminiscing more? Is there a state of nostalgia that's going on with you at this moment in time in your life?
I think probably with last year we did a show in the summer in Hyde Park in London to kind of commemorate the 40th anniversary of the first shows The Cure. I think since then I have been in probably a more reflective state of mind than I normally would be. This year is the 40th anniversary of the first album, the 30th anniversary of Disintegration, so I suppose it's kind of there. But I mean, these anniversaries will now start happening every year, so I'd better get used to it. So I suppose almost as a reaction to that, we've actually we came out of the studio literally the week before we came over to South Africa, and we've just started. We haven't quite finished recording our first new album for 10 years. So in a way, it's been a good thing, I suppose, because I've reflected back and thought, why aren't I still making new music? So, yeah. I could never know what it's like, obviously, to be in anyone else's mind, let alone yours. But what does it do to a sense of self if you're obviously aware that you mean so much to so many people and have for so long and have created things that have been so influential? Does that impose on your sense of self and create a sense of self-expectation, or does it not affect the process that much at all? It doesn't really, because I think with almost everything, I could never say that everything I've done, but I've always tried to do things that I have this imaginary me that's just kind of sort of 15 years old, and I don't want to let that person down, and that's sort of my touchstone. I try and do things for what I think are the right reasons, and I try to do things that I think are genuine, and I try to do things that I enjoy. So I don't really worry about other people's reaction to anything that I do with the band until it's out there, and then I start to wonder will people like it, will people get it? So it's not really, it's a very difficult one, because obviously, if as a live band, as a performing band, essentially we're playing to an audience. We're putting on a show. But even that part of it, I need to get something from it as well, because otherwise there would be no point in me doing it. So it's a weird mix, actually. It's a kind of a balancing act. So I don't think it really has too much effect on me, because I otherwise live quite a normal, quiet life when I'm not doing this. So my sense of self is actually not really dependent on what the band does.
Is that quiet life why you didn't go up the mountain, or were you doing something else?
I'm afraid, if I'm being really honest, it's because I stayed up very late yesterday, and I didn't get up in time to join to get on the bus. So they left without me.
Robert, we were at the Johannesburg show, the incredible. 2 hours 45 minutes, and everything from the tightness of the band to the production behind it. It's like there's so few big bands that are able to play at that level for that amount of time. Is there an incredible amount of sort of precise
preparation that goes into that being the kid? I mean, how is it that you think after so long you're able to perform at such a high level for such a long amount of time?
It's funny this, because we actually had quite a heated discussion within the band that I may be becoming too obsessed by detail. Right. As I grow older, but I think it's the only way to ensure that everybody kind of keeps stepping up to that high level, because we could coast. And I know what you mean. I mean, a lot of bands unfortunately do reach a point, and then it is easy just to coast. And I kind of feel it happening sometimes, and so I have to kind of draw everyone around me and say, this isn't how we should be doing it. So I am a bit of a I don't know, I wouldn't say I was a freak in that way, but I like everything to be done. I think we get one shot at it. We're playing in Johannesburg. It's got to be good. We have to make it as good as we can. So there is a certain, there's a reasonable amount of preparation goes into it. I also think that it helps that the band, it's kind of like we all know what we're supposed to be doing. We kind of we get it. So that does make life a lot easier.
I mean, you spoke about not necessarily minding too much about perceptions, but at the same time obviously caring very deeply about the fact that they're people who would have waited their whole life for the one opportunity to see you. Does that factor in as well to some extent?
I think that probably is a reason why our shows have become longer and longer as we've grown older. Apart from the fact that it's difficult to leave out, once we start compiling a set list of the songs that we know we want to play and that people want to hear, we're pretty much up to the hour and a half mark, before we even worry about that, or think about what other songs shall we play tonight. So I like the idea of like what we tried to do in Johannesburg, what we're trying to do in Cape Town is kind of give people an overview of the band. So we're playing, I think we're playing pretty much a song from every album, although I think we missed out 2 albums in Johannesburg. So it is difficult, because obviously there are some songs that people, we want to play and people want to hear, and they go down well and they create a good atmosphere. It's just compiling a set where you can take people a little bit further into what, maybe some, I mean, we realise that at a festival, there's a lot of people there will also be there just for the day. They're enjoying the day, they're enjoying the music, they're enjoying the other bands. So we want to kind of be accessible, but at the same time take them a little bit further into what we really do. So it's, I really enjoyed it actually on Saturday. It seems incredible that we've never come to South Africa before, because it was such a great response.
Yeah. And down from the audience side is, I mean, like I'm in my 20s, and then so at some point you get introduced to the Cure, but I mean people going up to 40, 50, 60, 70, and they'd kind of they'd got the regalia on, and they were sort of getting behind the cult side of things as well, which I think is just cool, man. It's just like it's beautiful to see a sense of community like that.
Yeah, it's one of the things. It is one of the joys actually of being an older band, which is one of the compensations for growing old. There aren't that many. But you see, we do have grey-haired fans, but we also have people there with their kids, and their kids are actually wearing Cure t-shirts. So it is really good. I really like that side of it.
Robert, you'd obviously be aware of all the different kind of cultural and pop references that have been made to you, in different movies and series and all kinds of iconography. I wondered what your impression on that kind of thing is, and if you have any favourites.
That's a tricky one, because sometimes I sort of wonder if, I think, is that supposed to be me? I think that, the obvious one for me was being in South Park. Right. Actually, was the biggest accolade, because that was indisputably me, although obviously in ridiculous cartoon form. But it was scarily closer to the truth than some of the other representations of me. Some of the other stuff, I kind of think, well, it's maybe informed a little bit from what I've done or what I look like, but I don't, sometimes it sort of strays into pastiche. Other times I think it's done in a really, in a genuinely nice way. But I don't think about it too much, because it's not really me. It's a projection of me that it's when I'm performing with the band, when I'm doing stuff with the band. I change slightly from how I really am at home. I don't walk about singing and playing guitar at home. I'm a more normal person at home.
You said you've said as well in many interviews that that's what a lot of the aesthetic has got to do with. It's got to do with a ritualistic way of getting into the right frame of mind, as opposed to this being a representation of who you consider yourself to be.
Yes, I think. I mean, over the years, I have shaved my head a couple of times just I've rebelled against myself, kind of thing. But I do use the makeup and stuff and just put my hair up because it is a kind of ritual, it's like, and I enjoy that side of it. I like, it's primarily done so that when I walk out on stage, I think like now this is me. I'm about to perform in front of people. It's a very weird thing to do for me. When I was young, I was never the person to stand up and say me, I can do that. I always, even when there were school productions and stuff on, I was wanted to be backstage sorting stuff out. I didn't want to be on. I was never on stage until I was 17. So it's weird that I've ended up doing it, as a career.
What was your perception of people who were good at that? Did you think they were narcissistic arseholes?
Not really. I just thought that they had great self-belief. I don't know. I thought they just. I didn't really have that kind of confidence. Actually, that's not strictly true. I was quite confident, but I didn't feel the urge to perform. It was simply that I didn't resent people who did. I just couldn't imagine walking out in front of people and saying, "Look at me," that's what I mean. It's odd. That's essentially what I do now.
I know it's been announced with the Killers you're headlining Glastonbury. This is going to be the third time. I know you'd said in previous interviews as well that there wasn't always a happy history. So I assume and guess that everything's cool.
Yeah, it's fourth time. Come on. We're just about to share the honour of headlining the most times with Coldplay, I think, when we play this summer.
Wow.
No, it's fine. We played. I think we headlined 86, 90, and 95, and then it just that's a long time ago since we've been asked. We've headlined pretty much every other major festival around the world at least twice since then. There were reasons why we weren't invited back to headline Glastonbury, and they weren't really to do with whether we were any good or not. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, things are fine. Obviously, they've invited us back to play, and we're very happy to go and play. I'm looking forward to it.
And 19 shows this year, and we talked about the new album. I mean, I could talk to you all day, obviously, but I really think that you need to maximize your time in Cape Town.
Get out on a boat. That's what I'm looking out at the sea as I speak.
Yeah,
that's where I shall be later this afternoon.
You should. I don't know if this would appeal to you or not at all, but there's sort of along that Sea Point coastline around the town where you are. If you go out on a kayak there, you can see like whales and dolphins and sunfish, which kind of look like sharks, but it's like right out on the shore.
You're picturing me in a kayak, are you?
Yeah. Why not?
I can't see that.
You don't think so?
I'm going to see myself sprawled a little bit more on the deck of some larger vessel with something cold in my hand.
Yeah, on a tugboat, sort of just watching the tides go by.
Yeah.
Robert, really and truly, I mean, I know you haven't done you're not doing a lot of press, and I thank you so much for making some time and for giving us a call. I mean, it sincerely means a lot, and thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, take care.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Cheers, bye.
It's the iconic Robert Smith from The Cure. They're in South Africa. One more show, Thursday, Rock on the Lawns. Kenilworth Racecourse, Cape Town. Thank you, Andy Mack and the team, for bringing them to South Africa. Tickets at CompuTicket. Here they are. Friday, I'm in Love. It's 5FM.